Greatest common factor and lowest common multiple. First, let's review what factors and multiples are. When we do multiplication, we have two numbers that we multiply together and we get an answer which we call the product. So the numbers that we use to multiply are called factors, and the number that we get as an answer would be the multiple. Another way to look at multiples would be when you're counting by that number. So for example, I count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All of these numbers would be multiples of 2. Now let's take a look at greatest common factors. Short form, GCF. We're going to find the greatest common factor of these three numbers, 24, 36, and 40. First, we're going to list the factors for each number. The best way to list these numbers and to ensure that you will not miss any of these numbers is to use the rainbow method. So we start with 1 because we know that 1 will always be a factor for all numbers. 1 times 24 will give us 24. Next would be 2. 2 multiplied by what would give us 24? 2 multiplied by 12. So I'm under the assumption that you already know your times table and you're able to think of the numbers that you can multiply together to give you 24. Next, we have 3. Are you able to take 3 and multiply with a number to get 24? Yes, you can. We have 3 times 8. Next, we have 4. 4 times 6 gives us 24. And then the next number we have is 5. Well, 5 you cannot multiply with anything to give you 24. So we are now at 6 now after 5, which we know that we've ended the rainbow. And we've included all the different factors that we have for 24. Next, we move on to 36. 1 times 36 gives us 36. 2 times 18 gives us 36. 3 times 12 gives us 36. 4 times 9 gives us 36. And then now we have 5. 5 cannot be multiplied with any number to give us 36, so we move on to the next number, 6. 6 times 6 gives us 36. So we have 6 as the final number in our rainbow. Last number, 40. We have 1 and 40. And then we have 2 times 20 gives us 40. And then we think the number 3. Can 3 be multiplied with a number to give us 40? No, it can't. So we skip to the next number, 4. 4 times 10 gives us 40. And then next we have 5. 5 times 8 gives us 40. And then we think about 6. 6 can't be multiplied with anything to give us 40. Then we have 7. We can't multiply with anything to get 40 either. And then now we're back to the 8. So now we've completed our rainbow and we know that we did not miss any factors. After we've listed the factors of these three numbers, we go and look for the greatest number that's in common here. That's why it's called greatest common factor. So these are all the numbers that are in common. 1, 2, 4, and that's it. So in the case of 24, 36, and 40, the GCF equals to 4. Next, we're going to look at the lowest common multiple. Short form LCM. We're going to find the LCM of these three numbers. When we are finding the LCM, we first need to list the multiples of each of these numbers. So we're counting by that number. We're going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50. Now, the number that you stop at is a bit tricky. You just need to kind of estimate a large number that you think that may be in common with some of the other numbers. Then you just stop at that number. But you may need to continue and add more numbers later on. So next, I'm going to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so I already see that I have 50 that's in common, so I'm going to stop there for now and continue on. 12, counting by 12s, 24, 36, 48, 60. So 60 is a number that's in common here. I wonder if 60 would also show up in multiples of 5, so I will continue with my multiples of 5. I have 55, and I also have 60. So here I can see that for my LCM, it's 60. So some of you may get confused about when to use lowest common multiple and why is it greatest common factor. So the reason why there's no such thing as a greatest common multiple, it's because you can continue going on with counting multiples until infinity. So you can't have a greatest common multiple because it will just continue on and on forever. Likewise, with the greatest common factor, you can't have a lowest common factor because all numbers will have the lowest common factor as 1. So it's a number that we can't use. There's no point in finding the lowest common factor. That's why we only ever find the greatest common factor and the lowest common multiple. Hope you enjoyed this lesson.